That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad question.
Hey, Rashad.
Zam. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs, man. We're going to get right into it. It is 2:54 a.m. Oh my gosh. You guys have read the title. You know what's coming up first. Tyler Perry sued for SA by the Oval actor. Click to read more. So I've seen the headline and I've seen the Oval actor. It's not a, I don't think the Oval actor said alleged Oval actor is not black. I think it's a white dude. And I was like, oh, that's okay. There is that. But there's apparently text messages, and everybody's talking about these text messages, but I avoided them so I could react to them now. So everybody say thank you, Rashad. You don't have to say that. How stuck up of me? Who am I? Northwest, 12 years old? What in the world? Where is time going? 12 years old? When did North turn 12? Apparently recently, but geez Louise. Tyler Perry sued for SA. The Oval actor claims years of harassment and more by the TMZ staff. Someone said Tyler Perry was just about to buy BET. Whoever said that was thinking. Tyler Perry is facing the accusation of SA, a claim coming from an actor on his long-running show, quote-unquote, The Oval, and one of Tyler's camp calls a quote-unquote scam, TMZ has learned. Derek Dixon filed a lawsuit against Perry, and in documents he claimed that he and the director met back at an event in 2019. In Derek's words, Tyler picked him up out of a crowd and asked for the number, suggesting he might have a role for him. As it turns out, he did. Derek says Tyler gave him a small role in 2 episodes of a show called quote-unquote Ruthless. Then in January 2020, Derek says Tyler invited him to his Atlanta home and he accepted, hoping to build a friendship that would lead to more acting gigs. But according to the suit, while there, Derek drank too much and ended up sleeping in a guest room. In the documents obtained by TMZ, Derek claims Tyler got in bed with him and started touching his thighs. And although he rejected the advances that night, he claims Tyler remained interested. Oh, wow. How do you make money then? Subscriptions? They make money from advertising, lots of money. I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. Testosterone. Oh yeah, from the doctor, but is it making you feel better? I feel so good, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry this for the first person that flirts with me. LOL, you don't even understand. I know I need to smell the roses more. You are the rose, but you are so blocked that you refuse to be smelt or be open. Bro, what? I'm sorry. This is sweet and I'm working on it. Hashtag therapy. I'm really scared that I'm going to waste my life worrying it. Been there. Stopped somewhere in my late 30s, early 40s. And he posted him next to the little thing. Nice picture. Yeah, the water does look calm. He said, nice picture. You great. Amazing picture. You don't see that stud in that nice picture? Rude. Oh, yeah, that's a stud. Oh, my goodness. Oh man. When I'm out of town, I be tripping. I be shortly thereafter. Derek says he landed the role of Dale on the Oval. Great for his career, but he claims that around this time that Tyler also began starting to fire off sexually suggestive texts, including asking Drews what his preferences were and telling him that he does things with men. All right, but okay. So, all right, I feel like at this point, right? If you a dude, right? And people being suggestive with you, other dudes being suggestive with you, and you're not into that, if it gets weird, you just say, hey man, I'm not into this. Like respectfully. I've had situations before. I can only really think of one off top that was recent or whatnot, somewhat recent, where a dude was being kind of weird, just telling me just weird things, very personal things. And I was like, hey man, um, can you keep that away from me? That's just, just kind of a bit weird to me. And he said, I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't mean to offend you. And he's like, hey, these girls, these girls, and this is that. I was like, hey man, I want no parts in that. Like, I appreciate it. And he said, oh, okay, all right. And I say all of that to say, bro, if you feel uncomfortable, bro, just tell someone you feel uncomfortable. You putting aside your comfort for the sake of, I hope I get a job. I feel like that's on you, bro. Like, and he's suing for what? $250 million. $250 million. If someone was really making you feel uncomfortable, bro. First of all, you weren't about to make no $250 million with Tyler Perry is no white man, bro. Like, let's get that out of the way, bro. That's first things first. Second thing second, $250 million. And bro was pressing you. If he was making you feel uncomfortable, tell him he making you feel uncomfortable. Stop responding to him. Was you that broke where you needed to? Derek also notes that his character Dell was written gay, homeless, and desperate store clerk who had to sleep with other characters for a place to stay. He claims that's exactly what Tyler told him when he was looking for a real life partner, someone who would be loyal and dependent upon Tyler. Derek says he fears his career will be derailed if he flatly rejected Tyler. So he instead just told him that he wasn't the you know what I'm saying, type. But he was also terrified, always terrified that he'd lose his job if he complained about as harassment. So he was afraid that he was going to get blacklisted by Tyler Perry. Bro, Donald Glover and Boondocks both got entire episodes just making fun of Tyler Perry, bro. And all Tyler Perry could do was get mad. The thing about Tyler Perry, about being such a powerful man in Hollywood and things of that sort, and I salute Tyler for what he's built by himself and the big old, Fort McPherson joint that he's flipped into Tyler Perry Studios. The studios that's even bigger than MGM Studios and all the studios out in LA and Hollywood and things of that sort. Despite all of that, Paramount, all of that, despite all of that, bro, the fact that he does everything by himself, the only thing that you be blacklisted from with Tyler Perry is Tyler Perry stuff, bro. Everything else you be smooth with, bro, because he does everything. He on the island by himself, literally and figuratively, bro. So it ain't nothing to worry about if Tyler Perry don't rock with you, bro. That's just one person in the industry. With his entities and everything like that, his dynasty, but at the same time, it's just the Tyler Perry stuff. Everything else in the industry, people aren't connected to, like, right? Because Tyler Perry be saying, "Oh, the industry, they want, they don't accept me, so I do things myself. I don't get recognized. I don't get the recognition, but I'm still gonna build my $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? That's what he says at every award show. Every award he get the same speech. The industry don't da da da. But so if you get blocked out by Tyler Perry, your career can still exist, bro, according to Tyler Perry himself. Anyways, to the point, he says Tyler once again invited him to Atlanta later in 2020, and things allegedly took a dark turn. Derek claims that Perry greeted him warmly, but quickly started an charged conversation, like asking him if he likes it rough and bad. And then he grabbed Derek by the throat and saying, "Look how excited you just got." Right, this is what I'm saying, man. See, he ain't shut him down with the text. He ain't shut him down with the first time where Buddy was sleeping in the bed and he was like trying to touch him and everything like that. You let it get this far, bro. It's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing. Like, forget orientation, bro. Just think, just period, right? Period. If you're with a particular anyone, a partner, anybody you're interested with, you pretty much go off of the vibe they give you, right? So it's like you might, as a man, I'm just saying as a man, like you might try to hold their hand. If they're open to you holding their hand and locking hands like this, okay, they might be I think you could assume from that they don't mind you holding their hand. If you hug them and you hold on for longer than the usual time, you might, okay, they might be open to me hugging them for longer than the usual. It's little things like that. You only stop when they're like, when someone pushes you, when someone resists you, when someone says no, when someone says stop. All the body language that and physical verbal language that tells you, hey, I'm uncomfortable, please stop this. So I don't know. I'm not buying this, bro, because he never stopped, bro. So now, okay, I never stopped, bro. I felt like the progression sounds natural to me, bro. He says he pushed Tyler away. Okay, so I guess this is where the $250 million comes in. He says he pushed Tyler away. That was the end of the alleged accident. He said once he pushed him away, he stopped. He ain't pursuing him no more. The lawsuit includes years of text messages allegedly sent between both men. Most of the ones which Tyler allegedly sent as charged one. For instance, one reads, "No straight man would be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless he wanted to F you. I would F you." That's crazy, Tyler Perry. I'm about to call him Tyler Creator. I guess it would go for both. The most aggressive incident allegedly went down in June 2021, again at Tyler's Atlanta home. So you keep going to this man's house. You keep spending the night at this man's house. If he's sending you particular text messages, forget that. The night where you got drunk and you slept in his guest room, and he came in your guest room, and he came in the guest room and came into bed and started touching your thigh, bro. Like, and you kept going back to the house. Am I tweaking? Chat, let me know if I'm tweaking, bro. Maybe I just don't get it. The most aggressive incident allegedly went down in 2021, again at Tyler's house, where Dixon was staying in the guest house wearing only his underwear. And he says Tyler came in and gave him a good night hug. So this is someone who allegedly has made you feel unsafe, uncomfortable for, months at this point, right? And so when you go sleep at his crib, you don't bring no pajama pants. You don't stop by Walmart and buy no, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here, bro? I ain't gonna lie. If I'm uncomfortable, first of all, I'm not spending the night at anybody's house I'm uncomfortable in. That's first of all. Second off, if I had to in a particular world, I'm buying me a onesie, bro. I'm buying me a onesie. I'm zipping it all the way up, or I'm getting something where I'm like covered and protected in the name of the blood, bro. I'm not. Come on, what is we talking about right now, bro? He allegedly said Tyler yanked down his underwear, groped his butt, and said, "Relax and just let it happen," and assured him that it wasn't going to hurt. Dixon says he managed to rebuff this advance by changing the subject. According to the suit, how do you change the subject? It's two grown men in the room. I'd assume late night because he say he's sleeping, and he's grabbing it. You know what I'm saying? Like what does it say? Hey, how about those Cowboys? Like, what are you talking about here, bro? And assured him that it wasn't going to hurt. Dixon says he managed to rebuff the advance by changing the subject. According to the suit, Dixon finally filed a complaint with the Equal Employment and Opportunity Commission in June 2024. Then he quit the Oval, saying that he could no longer put up with alleged harassment. Dixon is suing Tyler and Tyler Perry Studios for quad pro Q and workplace sexual harassment and SA and battery. He's seeking $260 million in damages. Boy, stop. Get out of here, but I am not even gonna lie to you. Tyler's attorney, Matthew Boyd, tells us this is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam, but Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident that these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Story development, 100%. It's BS, bro. It's BS, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Because if anybody made you that uncomfortable for that long, bro, you wouldn't have let it get to that point. Like, he made you feel uncomfortable. So not only did you go back to his house and spend the night, you went back to his house spending the night in some underwear, bro, with nothing but your drawers. Is that what you're telling me right now? If he, after he sent you a text that said, "I will F you," and you said, "Oh, you know what? Hey, bro, I want to spend the night, bro. I love you, bro. And you know what? I'm not even going to bring no pajama pants. I ain't going to get no onesie. I ain't going to wear no layers. I'm going to just bring my drawers." Man, come on, bro. And $260 million, you wasn't going to get no $260 million with no Tyler Perry, bro. You knew that. I knew that. Come on, bro. What is we talking about right now, man? Anyways, someone posted this from Christian Keys last year. They said he was quiet because apparently he was paid off. I copied this down before I read the actual article. Whatever Christian Keys says here, dog, because they said where there's smoke, there's fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might just be on TP side, bro. I might just be on TP side, bro, because this is ridiculous, dog. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like the almost like the Shannon Sharp situation. This is just ridiculous, bro. But the Shannon Sharp situation was like, Shannon, I have no, you know what I'm saying, sympathy for you. You put yourself in that position. You knew that's a dangerous position. The optics look crazy. Like what is you even doing in that position? But Tyler, I don't know. It just, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it a bean. It just seemed like general people, when you interested in someone and you making advances and things of that sort. It's like, shout out my boy Big Nate. But it's just like, how do you say? It's just like someone who's straight, bro. That's what it appears to me to be. It's just the dynamics are different. It's
Good evening.
man and a woman.
Hope everybody's doing amazing. I've been speaking to my brother about making a declaration of my experience. What I experienced with certain powers that be that were moving inappropriately. And I really, like, it's in my bone marrow to discuss that, because thankfully God built me the way that he built me, but I'm not sure, based on this person's claims and brags, that he's literally got, at the same time this person was sexually harassing me for years. He was claiming, that he had multiple young black men on the payroll, and they just had to show up when he requested them to be there. And clearly that's why it felt to him that it was okay to say these things. And I want to have these discussions. I want to be transparent with y'all about that. I've done my best to forgive this person, but it happens. It happens. It's not just women that have to deal with it, but it's also men sometimes. And it'll be men tempting men. And that's why a lot of my posts over the last few years have been about taking the scenic route, taking the long way around, because if that means that you can carry your integrity with you, then, and it's 11:11. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for another opportunity to connect with you. Please forgive my sins, my shortcomings, my bad decisions, and my mistakes. Please continue to guide and protect us as only you can. Everybody that's watching, it's not a presentation. If I see 11:11, I try to have another conversation with God. So thank you, Heavenly Father. I appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
That's interesting. But there are people that will and have and will continue to, unfortunately, offer these things. And some of them are your heroes. Some of them are people who y'all like, oh yeah, such and such is amazing, and he does this and he does that. Yeah, but he also does this and that. At some point soon, it's gonna have to come out. I've kept one of these on me since '05. whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen, because most predators would check your phone. And once the sexual harassment started, I was like, well, I got to protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above. And the difference is, the wonderful thing about confidentiality agreements and non-disclosure agreements is that they can't prevent you from turning all of those things over to the police.
Flip, what up? Flip in the building.
Sexual harassment is a crime. Attempted sexual assault is a felony. And Tams, you literally just asked, why do we as black people have to deal with that? But sometimes it's our own people. Sometimes it's our own heroes. Sometimes it's the very people we deify. And we look up like, oh, they're doing so much, they're doing so much. No, they're also doing this. And my only reservation about naming the people, there was directors along the way like, hey, you read for this, that, and the other. You want to come back up to the apartment? I'm like, nah, I'm good. You got my headshot, my resume, and I'm good. If I can handle that or not. I can kill that, but I don't need to come up to your apartment. We already had the audition. There's other people that I want to say everything, and my brother was like, nah, not yet. I want to tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere. It's gonna have to happen. I'm interested to see which peers are mad at me because it may interfere with their work. But, yeah. You get a grown-ass man that knows that you're heterosexual and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room.
He's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing that Buddy was saying. He's saying the same thing that Derek Dixon was saying. But once again, I'm like, if Buddy made advances to you, why is you going over his house getting drunk to the point where you got us? I don't get it. Me personally, I don't get it. If I know someone, a dude, right? Say it's my boss, right? Say it's my boss trying to flirt with me, and it's a man. No one I don't swing that way. He made the little advance. Oh, Rashad, that cute little smile, them little twist. I say, hey, watch it, player. I say, I ain't with that, my bro. You know what I'm saying? He said, oh, you don't. Nah, I ain't with that, bro. And then he invite me to sleep over his crib. Bro, how am I sleep over your crib? And you just said, you so cute. Nah, fam. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. After reading everything, it seems Tyler Perry was doing quad pro Q with this Dixon fella reading the complaint. It was clear he knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think in both of these instances, bro, and you have to, prayers to all the victims. Prayers to all the victims. Prayers to anybody who's ever been preyed upon by some predators, everything like that. If this triggered your PTSD, I'm so sorry. 100%. At the same time, bro, it's like, if somebody made me feel uncomfortable and they made an advance to me and I told them that I wasn't interested, and then they invited me over to their crib, I'm not getting drunk to the point where I have to sleep in their house. And I'm not going to their house time and time and time again. And to the point where I'm sleeping one time in the crib in just my drawers. Like, what? Come on, bro. Like, it don't make no sense. Q Pro Q can get you fired. You're not supposed to do that. Most employers fire everybody. Get fired. Man, that's just how I feel about the situation, bro. Like, just fire me, bro.
Says it's safe, because I know I'm bad. So after a big party, won't say what type, won't say where. I'm asleep. I'm gone because I'm 4-5 Hennessy's deep, and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb into bed with you. So you spaz out, push him out, like, what the fuck? Get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man. All right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out, and he tries to grab your penis. He tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the fuck you?
But then you just keep going back to his house. I would have got out of there real fast. I would have taken the L. You keep going back to his house. Not only did he like make suggestions to you, oh, this and that, and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't go that way. You keep going back to his crib. What are we doing? You know what's gonna happen if you go to the crib, huh? It's like, man, come on, bro. Like, what? Like I said, I love this analogy with dudes pursuing women. I just say this as a dude, you know what I'm saying? In the current era and everything like that, my peers, right? Dudes my age, my peers, my age group, in this modern day of age, will see a girl on social media. Her whole page is nothing but luxury and looking fancy and looking cute and money and this and that, fancy dinners, the whole nine, vacations. They think she looks good. They'll slide in her DMs. She'll respond. They'll start dating. And then he finds out that she just wants his money. And you know what they do after that? They go on the internet and they rant how about today's women and today's girls only want them for their money. Guess what? The woman told you she only wanted money when you approached her. So what are we talking about? Why are you going to the Instagram baddies that do nothing but go on vacation and get surprised that they only want money? Why are you going to Tyler Perry's house if you know Tyler Perry only want to touch you and he only want to love on you and you don't want that? Explain it. Explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. You can't. Money is not everything. It's not everything. You have your self-esteem. He went from 10K to 19K an episode. So you had 19K an episode. You saying your dingaling is worth 19K an episode. That's what you telling me right now. And like I said, I'm so sorry to all the victims and people who this story triggered your PTSD or whatever. But you come on, bro. For real, that's really what we doing? 19K. If someone was like, how much is your manhood worth? If they say 19K, most people before the 19K would say, man, nah, bro. You know, them little hypotheticals. It's like, would you do ABC to save your mom? And everybody be like, come on, bro. Why would you ask me that question, bro? Da, 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 da. Man, come on, man. And in real life, y'all doing it for 19K. Huh?
Doing, man? What the fuck? My bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not bringing multiple bones in this person's face.
You could do that all you want, bro. At the end of the day, you obviously gonna go back to his crib. And you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all could try to, man, I'm tough. I'm this, I'm that. Y'all could try all that. Man, y'all cap. Y'all cap. Y'all gonna go back for what? For the 19K an episode? He tell you, I need you for sisters. Episode, I need you for what's the show with Crystal Renee Hazlitt? I need you for the Crystal. What's her show name? Hold on. Crystal Renee Hazlitt. What's her show called? I need you for Zatima. I need you for 8 episodes of Zatima for this season. And you're gonna say, I'm not even gonna violate. I'm not even gonna violate the way I want to violate. Cause you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, y'all are victims and things of that sort. This guy got out, he left his pride intact. So well, salute to Christian Keys. But Buddy here, you know what I'm saying? Keep going back. Like, bro, what? And then suing for $260 million, 19,000 an episode. How many episodes is 19,000 for $260 million? You weren't about to get no $260 million. I don't know, bro. This is just the way that I see things, bro. So while everybody makes jokes about Tyler Perry's, you know what I'm saying, preferences in bed and all that stuff, make sure you pay attention to what's actually going on. And what's actually going on is like, you calling him you know what I'm saying? You calling him the sissy, the so-and-so, the fairy, the Rainbow Coalition, the alphabet community warrior. You calling him every name under the book. But who's going to his crib at the same time? What did Cat Williams say? P. Diddy gonna want to party, and sometimes you just have to tell him no. All right, man. Next thing. T.I. teaching his son King how to measure the time before the sun sets. I don't know if King is like, what you call him, bro? Is streaming now, but I seen a little bit of this clip and I started laughing. And I was like, bro, I gotta react to this. So here it is. Here's the clip.
Hey, Chris. I'm trying to show my son King, man. I told him how to read how much time he had before the sunset by looking at the sun and measuring it to the horizon.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell him how to do it, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how do you
I'm right here. Hey, how you doing?
What's up, man? I'm good.
What's up with it?
You look up at the sun. You see the sun?
Yeah. There's clouds in front of it, but I see it.
But from the sun, you just put your fingers, like you take your 4 fingers, you put them to the side, right? And you put them right under.
Hey, yo. All right.
The sun. And however many fingers you got from the bottom of the sun to the horizon, each finger is 15 minutes.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Hey, man, I got the YNs over here. I got the YNs over here. And they thought I was capping them down, man.
I don't.
Hey, man, did I tell you the same thing, bro?
Yeah, you told me. I just need somebody to explain to me.
This man said, how do you study stuff like this?
Put it in reverse, yeah.
Hey.
That's some OG shit. You just gotta live life, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell him, man. Get off the internet. That's how you study shit like that. Get off your phone, get outside, and get the living outside of the fucking internet.
You can't measure no sun.
No. Don't look for the sun through there.
Look at T.I. face when he said that. he said, now what you said? He changed it. Look at what he said.
The living outside of the fucking internet.
You can't fucking.
He said, boy, what'd you say?
You can't measure no sun.
No. Don't look for the.
He was just laughing just a second ago. Y'all need to get out. You need to get outside, King. He switched that up real quick. He said, boy, what'd you just say to me?
You can't fucking. You can't measure no sun.
Nah. Don't look for the sun through there, dummy.
They said W knowledge.
Hey, listen. So you made it to Atlanta yet?
Ain't no way. So we
I
still got.
gotta check out King's stream, bro. I didn't know he was streaming. I never heard that one before. Yeah, this is some real Southern, like older black men, like type of wisdom. Like, it's some true Atlanta, not just Atlanta, the whole South. This is some real Southern stuff, bro. You hear some crazy stuff. Man, the things that I hear from my mom's grandma, bro. Man, she be like, "Oh yeah, you don't do this at so and so because that gonna mean this and that. If the sun come up at night, then that mean you can't do this." Like it gets deep in the South, bro. With older black folks and they little things in the South. Next thing, Kelsey Grammer 70 expecting baby number 8. First of all, when I seen this headline and this picture from E News, I said, "No, not my boy Frazier." Man, I thought this man was dead, boy. He's just having another baby. Put it in your pants. Kelsey Grammer 70 expecting baby number 8. Poor tool management. What we say? Poor tool management. Come on, Flip. Flip know what is poor tool management, man. Frazier star Kelsey Grammer, who's a dad to 7 kids, from his former and current relationships with the look, man, that man just living life. That man just living life. his former and current relationships with an S is set to become a dad again after 70 years old with a wife, Kate Walsh. Whenever someone spells Kate like this, it always throws me off. This was written by Bentley Maddox of E News. Shout out to Bentley. Congrats to Kelsey Grammer on becoming a dad again. Petty. After his wife, Kate Walsh, 46, debuted her baby bump while stepping out alongside of him in London on June 14th, multiple outlets confirmed that the Fraser alum 70 is set to become a dad for the 8th time. And photos obtained by People, Kate, who already shares kids, Faith, 12, Gabriel, 10, James, 8, with Kelsey, strolled along the sunny English city sporting a black sundress with accented her growing belly. Excuse me. For his part, the Cheers star, who's also the dad to daughter Spencer, 41. He got a 41-year-old kid and a newborn. Oh my goodness. Whom he shares with his ex-wife Doreen Adelman and his daughter Greer, 33, with his ex Barry Buckner, as well as his daughter Mason, 20. He got the whole like span of childhood. Mason daughter Mason, 23, and son Jude, 20, with ex Camille Grammer, walked alongside Kate, donning a navy polo shirt, white shorts, and aviator sunglasses. Since becoming a dad for the first time in 1983, goodness gracious. His first kid came out like when Cheers came out. Goodness gracious. His first kid came out before the Thriller music video dropped. Goodness gracious. Man, Kelsey has enjoyed the role of patriarch, sharing that his work as an actor has allowed him to excel at parenthood. My children, my young children, my older children, the happiest I've ever been is if they're all in the same room together. Boy, you is a crazy man. You be tweaking, boy. The Emmy Award winner told Variety last June, my work has allowed me to be able to do that. I've been given this great experience. It's been painful and challenging and hard and tragic, no pun intended, all those things. But boy, it's been a great life. And I want to pass that to them. More than just giving the kids a good life, though. Kelsey has inspired a few of his offspring to pursue the entertainment industry too. 8 kids, one of them better make it. Huh? You see, T.I put all his kids to work. Kate and I were talking about how it's really something that the child will follow in their father's footsteps. He continued to think that all my kids, at least the ones that have a hand in the air, are ready to take the responsibilities for their lives, are all drawn to this industry, Kate said. That's something you should be proud of. But as the family has grown and a schedule has been full over the years, Kelsey admitted that he's been playing quote unquote catch up with some of his older kids. A shame. And you kept having kids anyway. Irresponsible, poor tool management. I have neglected a couple of kids in my life, especially the first 2. He's just saying this out loud and no one's calling him out. Man, let Nick Cannon say something. Boy, Look, man. Hey, y'all look how these other communities moving. Just saying. He told People last May, I'm trying to make up for a little bit of it now. And Kelsey is confident that he will be able to show his support in ways that he's previously fallen short, adding, I'm still their dad, so you can always have a chance to show up. Read more on the stars who became dads later in life. Al Pacino. Al Pacino, the never married Oscar winner, was once the dad to Julia Marie, 1989, and Jan Tarrant, and twins Anton, James, and Olivia Rose, 2001, with his ex Beverly Angelo. He became a father of 4 at 83. Goodness gracious. 83. You better do it, bro. Robert De Niro. He was 79 when him and girlfriend Tinder. Yo, you get some type of money, bro, and you just be like making up a whole reality. What is this? Jeff Goldblum? And I'm too fly. Jeff Goldblum got a glass house in the Palisades. That AKA White Hood. He became a dad at 70. Was he? So he was technically 62 when they welcomed their first son, Charlie Ocean, to the world in 2015, and his brother, River Joe, in 2017. In 2022, he became a dad at 70. Bro, what? It's tweaking. Who is this? Mick Jagger? Mick Jagger, how old was Mick Jagger? He was 73 when he became a dad for the 8th time. See, a lot of y'all got to look at, bro, these double standards, bro. Because you look at some of the black celebrities and they creating blacker homes. I want better for my people. And meanwhile, whole time, what's going on? Crazy. Ronnie Wood, he's a granddad of 6 and is a father of 6, including 2 with his third wife, Sally Humphreys. Their twin daughters, Gracie Jane and Elise Rose, were born in 2016, 2 days before his 69th birthday. Goodness gracious. Mick has a ton of 100%, man. That pill gives you a second life. Pretty yo, he a 69 God. Hey, run for your life. Rod Stewart. How old was Rod Stewart? I'm sorry for sniffing right in the microphone. My bad. 66. That's not that bad compared to a lot of these other guys. Paul McCartney. All right. He was 61. Okay, it's getting more manageable. Clint Eastwood. Ooh. Clint Eastwood. You got to think Clint Eastwood had lit movies, you know what I'm saying? In like the 2010s. Let me see. How old was he? 66? That's it? I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of good. On this list, excuse me, Steve Martin. It was only grown-ups in the building until Steve Martin was 67 when he had his other kid. Dang, bro. Anthony Quinn. He's a father of 12. Of 12? Bro, people do not care, bro. I think that's bad for the kids. Me personally, I think that's bad for the kids. He was 82. He was 82 when he had his 12th kid. Bro, I feel like when you do stuff like that, bro, like you know you about to die. Like you know you about to, so you gonna leave a kid without their father for their whole life just because you had poor tool management and you was like, I got money, who cares? The child cares. The child's gonna suffer. Charlie Chaplin. Is this Charlie Chaplin like the magician? Like the original magician type deal? Chaplin's death in 1977 at 88. Welcome in 1944, 46, 62. Chaplin was 73 when Christopher was born. Elton John. All right. Nope. Nah, y'all not going to cancel me. Y'all not going to cancel me. Billy Joel. How old Billy Joel? He became a dad again at 66. Larry King. Larry King was... Dang, rest in peace, Larry King, bro. He was 65. So that wasn't too crazy. Okay. Don't get in my way. Advertisement. All right, next. This is LeBron James talking about ring culture.
It's funny, yeah. I don't know why it's discussed.
Uninterrupted. What's the other productions company name? Hold on. LeBron Production Company. Springkill. Y'all don't take this video off of the internet.
So much in our sport.
Or if you want to, just let me know. But you know, don't put this as a strike against my channel, please.
And why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. You sit here and tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, you know, are fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in any sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time.
He's not.
Or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things, you know.
They do.
I don't know. Did Barry Bonds win a World Series? I don't think so.
Did anyone call Barry Bonds the greatest baseball player of all time? See, here's the thing. LeBron's at the end of his career. And he's really, at this point, just doing everything to just vouch for people, to convince people he's the greatest basketball player of all time. Now, obviously, Michael Jordan has 6. LeBron has 4. He's been sitting on 4 for a minute now. He's the oldest player to do every single thing in the book in the NBA. LeBron is trying to, originally, probably a couple years ago, his plan was to keep playing while he feels good because he still feels good and he can still play well. And he still feels like he can lead his team to compete for a championship. It's not necessarily working that way. Since it's not necessarily working that way, what is he going to do? He's going to try to shift the narrative of the public's perception and the public's criteria of who's the greatest player of all time. And he's going to shift it to, so what? I have 4 and Jordan has 6. I'm still the greatest player. Like, that's what he wants us to say. I'm not budging LeBron. Come on, bro. And salute to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loved LeBron. I mean, even I hated LeBron for a period in time when he was on Cleveland and they was doing all the poses and, you know what I'm saying, and dancing on the sidelines. I hated Cleveland then. And I hated LeBron. LeBron used to flop all the time and stuff like that. I've grown to appreciate LeBron and his greatness and everything like that, and appreciate what we have right now. I appreciate it. At the same time, brother, I'm not budging off of my criteria for who's the greatest of all time just because you want me to. I don't care, bro. I'm not doing it. Now, uninterrupted, you definitely might copyright strike. It is what it is. I'm sorry. That is right because of MJ, 100%. He's better. He's a better person when it comes to being, humanities and stuff like that. I think he's done a great job with upholding a public image that kids can look at and they'd be like, oh, I want to be like LeBron, ABC. You know what I'm saying? I think he does a great job at that, holding up a great, clean public image. Man, what? LeBron going through this whole thing unscathed. It's like literally just conspiracy theories, and then Drake's freestyle with the diss because he was dancing to Not Like Us for a summer. It's the only things that be any blemishes on LeBron's record. And that's still nothing compared to what we actually know about Michael Jordan at his prime, bro. Like, Michael Jordan stepped away from the game for 2 years after, like, that's some dark stuff. That's some dark stuff. Like, Michael Jordan, we know about Michael Jordan's, you know what I'm saying, off the court things.
Barry Bonds never won a World Series. So. You can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat.
He's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch it. Like, what are we talking about, LeBron?
I mean, Jerry West, I think, went to like 9 straight NBA finals.
Right.
The logo. And was only able to win 1. And he's the logo of our league.
No one says that Jerry West is the greatest basketball player. Like, you see how the the argument here, like what is the argument? No one is saying Steve Nash is the greatest point guard ever. Because Magic has 5, Steph Curry has 4. Like what are we doing here? What is the argument, LeBron?
Yeah.
So you can't sit here and tell me that, okay, well, because he only won 1, the guy can't be in the same room with the guy who won 2 or 3 or 4. Like, why not? This guy, he's our logo.
Now, that is something that I agree with, of like the 1 versus 2 or 3. I feel like if you get 1, you good. If you get 1, you good. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, Kevin Garnett, I make jokes a lot of time about the 2008 Celtics moving around like they're a dynasty and they just won 1. But like at the end of the day, Garnett and Pierce and Rondo and Ray Allen, Ray Allen got 2, but all them boys, they can move however they want to move. And Rondo got another one too with LA as well. I mean, they can talk and move however they want to. They got 1. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have 1. And it is what it is, bro. So that's how I feel about ring culture. I do feel like the only time it gets toxic for me is when Stephen A said that it'll be disappointing if Giannis finished his career with only 4. With only 1 with his skill set. And I'm like, bro, what? This man did this in Milwaukee. It's like the equivalent to Dirk Nowitzki getting 1 in Dallas. All due respect to Dallas, but it's like, folks weren't expecting Dirk Nowitzki, especially in the right when LeBron James said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Won't nobody expecting Dirk Nowitzki to get a ring in Dallas and stay with the same team 20 years of his career and get 1? Nobody was expecting that. If Giannis stayed in Milwaukee for his entire career and only ended up with 1, he's still a legend, bro. He's still a legend. He's solidified because he got 1. Reggie Miller's solidified, and Tyrese Halliburton done made it further than Reggie Miller in Indiana, but Reggie Miller's still stamped in Indiana. Dominique Wilkins is stamped. He got a statue in Atlanta. You can be a legend in your city and be a great and considered a great and all of those things without a championship. Now, when it comes to who's the greatest of all time and was your legacy disappointing and was your legacy this and that? Yeah, okay. You have 0. That matters. 0 versus 1. It matters a lot. Giannis got 1. He's good. He's in the club. Now, am I going to be like, Giannis is the greatest player of all time? No. But shoot, if someone was like, Giannis is up there in terms of greatest, like he's a top 20 player of all time, I'm entertaining that idea because he's got 1. On top of the fact that he's got 1. Same with Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, I can say he's up there in terms of the greatest of all time. I got Jokic in my top 15, bro. And he's got 1. So, anybody that I want to cape for, they already have 1. It goes with the whole thing. All right. Next, bro. This Travis Scott Pusha T thing. So for those of you who do not know, Pusha T, a new song came out from the Clips, and he called out Pusha T. He said, your girl got this and that. Your girl got whoop, whoop, whoop. And they said, what? So then a whole interview came out, and he doubled down on it. He just said what he said. Excuse me. Pusha T explains, this is from Hip Hop All Day. I believe the original came from the New York Times because it was like a New York Times interview that the video came from. And he said, Pusha T explains why he's now sending pew, pew, pews at Travis Scott on wax, calling him disloyal and a WHORE. The true context is we were in Paris, literally working. He was playing, he was calling to play Peter's new album. And he's like, oh man, everybody's here. He's smiling, laughing, jumping around, doing the effing monkey dance. He weren't into the music, but he wanted to play it. And then a week later, you hear Meltdown, which he didn't play. He played the song, but not Drake's verse. Travis has had a pattern of remaining conveniently neutral when it suits him. So here's the thing, right? So Travis said he told academics, or Drake told academics, hey, I recorded the song, my verse for Meltdown right before it came out. So it's like the fact that they played him the album before the album was out, and he skipped the Drake verse. He didn't conveniently skip the Drake verse. The Drake verse just didn't exist yet. But if you knew that Drake was going to be dissing Pharrell, and he also dissed Childish Gambino on that verse, if you knew he's going to be dissing Pharrell on Meltdown, and you worked on the whole thing and you played it for Pharrell in Paris, and you smiling and jumping around and stuff like that, like that's flaw. At the end of the day, Pusha T's stance still stands true. I never understood the rival hip hop thing. It's a lot. It's really just, it just comes down to loyalty and how different people move. To be honest, it's like in real life, right? If you have a friend group thing, you have a friend group, and you notice one person is in the group is moving weird towards another friend in your friend group. You're gonna be like, bro, I would never do that to anybody in this group. I thought we were all on one accord. I thought we all moved by the same code. We all had the same loyalty. We all had the same type of respect for each other because we are in this friend group. That's why it's a friend group. So if someone else is moving weird with them, you're gonna look at them like, psh, you ain't who I thought you was. That's all this is. if you were like, I never understood the rap rivalry thing. That's all this is. Just an example of it, real life example. Travis has had a pattern of remaining conveniently neutral when it suits him. He's done this a lot. He has no picks. He'll do this with anybody. He did this with Sicko Mode, push reference last spring when Travis joined Future and Metro on stage, and he excitedly asked him to tease like that a song whose Incendiary Kendrick Lamar's verse and ignited Kendrick's beef with Drake. He was on the Rolling Loud stage like, play that. He don't have no picks, no loyalty to nobody. He'll jump around to whatever he feels like or cling on to whatever he feels like is hot. To me, that was really just like, he's a WHORE. He's a WHORE. I've already dealt with the lack of loyalty to his mentor. Oh my gosh, the guy he looks up to, push that, referring to Kanye. I've been dealing with that corny stuff that goes along with them, that lack of loyalty. Travis really has that. He's proven. I just named 3 people that he does that type of behavior with. I'm not just one of them. Dog, I ain't with that. He's standing on business, bro. Pusha T standing on business. They said this whole rollout for the Clips album is him just calling out a bunch of people like he called out Kanye first. And I think he was still standing on his hate for Drake. And now he's like dissing Travis Scott. Bro, it is what it is, bro. If you don't like someone, yeah, let him know. And he's sending direct shots. It's no subliminals. It's no like, oh yeah, the one with the shoes and the baby mama on Forbes. Like, he's saying, Travis Scott, I don't like you. Drake, I do not like you. Still, Kanye, I no longer have respect for you as a man. You're a great musical genius, but as a man, I do not respect you. And I can't look you in the eyes and tell you that. I respect it, bro. Like, stop acting like you care for people just because they're going to help you. You think they're going to help benefit you in your music career, bro. Like, it's the same thing with going back to Tyler Perry. Going back to the Tyler Perry thing. You being quiet instead of standing on your morals when you know Tyler Perry inviting you to the crib and you know what he want to get on. And what you do, you go over there and sleep in your drawers and act surprised when he try you. Boy, stop. All right, here we go. Next thing. Just keep it real. Keep it a bean. If the Clips bringing back real, if they got to bring back real, let the Clips bring back the real. We're going to get into this Diddy thing, man, for today. Is this today? Okay, this is today. All right, here we go. Day 25, Diddy trial. Let's get into it.
It is day 26 of the United States versus Sean Combs, and the judge.
Day 26. No, it was day 25. She said 26 in the video. Okay, reading this fundamental, Rashad. Let's go.
Judge is not very happy today. We started the day off by the judge really admonishing both the defense and the government over sealed information that was somehow leaked to the press. We don't know exactly what this information is. I have a feeling that it has to do with the second juror. There seemed to be a second juror issue that was not relayed to the press at all. It was discussed in the robing room in private, and I think there was a media outlet that put out an article about this. Now, I don't know for sure that this is the issue. I am just speculating, so hopefully we will find out. But he was not happy, and he said it potentially could be a contempt issue. So we'll see what happens. But this will most likely be brief as well, because we've spent most of the day, or we have spent actually, V-Day so far on Agent Pendler, who is the special agent for the government. And she finished her direct examination, and we went over, let's see, more travel itinerary for Jules Theodore, who was one of the escorts. This is August of 2009. We saw an LA to NYC flight itinerary, London hotel reservations, and then we saw all of these charges on Diddy's Amex pertaining to this one trip and the flights, etc. And his bill, I didn't mention this yesterday, but they said a lot of his monthly bills, or they showed us his monthly bills, and his monthly bills range from $218,000 to almost $1 million. It was like $989,000, and this is all on one Amex. Then we got to September 2014, where we saw Clayton Howard, aka Dave, that's another escort, his flights and hotel records. And this was a flight from JFK in New York to LA. He stayed at the Four Seasons, and we saw the room reservation, Frank Black, everything that has corroborated what we've seen before. And for this, then there was another trip that they mentioned in July, and this was Jules flying from LA to New York, and we saw that he stayed in a hotel near the Hamptons. It was actually Riverhead, which I was wow, I'm like Riverhead, which is not quite the Hamptons. Riverhead is kind of near the North Fork, and they put him up at a Hilton Garden Inn. And they made sure the government made sure to say, okay, Riverhead, that's near where? Long Island. And the Hamptons are where? Long Island. So maybe hinting that he was there for a summer Diddy party. Who knows? And then, we saw an invoice from the La Hermitage Hotel, where we saw damages that were charged to Diddy's Amex for the carpet and the drapes, about $500. And okay, I didn't have a chance to ask any other reporters in the room this, but I could have sworn I saw an Intercontinental New York charge for damages for $46,000. Now, I feel like maybe I read this wrong because nobody seemed fazed by this. So I'm like, did I get this information wrong? I'm gonna have to go back and see, but I swear I saw a $46,000 damage charge, and this was this was October 2012, and this was the same month that Diddy's Amex, his bill for that month was $944,000 basically. So I will go back and double check on that. But if that is a damage charge, that is insane. So I feel like that can't be right, but I'm throwing it out there just in case you hear it elsewhere. And like I said, I will correct myself later on. Okay. Oh, and then I think the biggest part of the morning was these charts and these graphs pertaining to March 5th, 2016, the entire timeline around the LA Intercontinental Hotel with Cassie and the beating. So it basically went from Cassie communicating with Garen from Cowboys and Angels, getting an escort. You know, this is the day of. She's communicating with this escort named Skylar. And then we go through the morning where the late evening to the early morning, where he's kind of like, do you need me or do you not need me? And then it kind of skips to Cassie getting a crap ton of missed calls from Diddy. And at this point, the missed calls started around 11:28 a.m. And we know that the beating in the hallway took place around 11 a.m. So that kind of makes sense. And then we just saw this timeline. We saw the text messages that ensued from there. And then we saw when Christina Coram got involved. And she also was texting another assistant, Eli Marone, to get this footage. He got involved. Then we saw D-Rock get involved. He was texting between KK, Cassie, and Diddy, all these different texts. And then we saw Carrie Morgan get involved, because we know that Carrie Morgan was at Cassie's home when Cassie got home from the incident. And at one point we saw a text from Cassie to Christina Coram saying something like, can you tell him to stop? This is around 2:30 p.m. that day, because the neighbors are going to call the police. And we had already heard testimony previously about him trying to get into the house with a hammer and the cops being called to her house. And again, just more back and forth where KK begs Cassie to talk to Diddy. She, she sent some texts here and there, but she sent I don't remember if we saw this one text, but she basically said, I have arguably the biggest night of my career, meaning the perfect match premiere. And she said, of my life, and I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking you can do this to me. Please stay away from me. And then later on, I think it was the next morning, the day after, we actually saw a text from Diddy to D-Rock saying, how is she? And I think at this point, Cassie was at D-Rock and his wife April's house. And D-Rock said she's okay, she's eating breakfast, her face don't look bad, she's smiling and laughing, call her. And in between all of this, March 6th is when the calls from Diddy to Eddie Garcia started, the back and forth there. And we went through all of those calls. And then the last call from Sean Combs to Eddie Garcia, kind of closing the loop on this night, was March 25th, 2016, which we know was Easter because he testified that he got a call from him on Easter. Eddie Garcia, I mean. And then Tenny Garrigo started her cross. And I appreciate Tenny's cross because she really sounds like a girlfriend. Like you're just talking to one of your girlfriends, but then she kind of like lays it on. So she was talking to the special agent and she's like, so you've been a special agent for 10 years, et cetera, et cetera. Your job is to go through all of these files, ensure accuracy, even though you did not work on this case. Like you were not a part of this task force, you didn't make any arrests, et cetera. And she said, yeah. Well, Tenny points out a part of one of the charts where it shows Cassie's name and Diddy's name everywhere except for this one box, but it kind of insinuates that this one box does involve Cassie and Diddy. And Tenny points it out that during this time, Cassie, it was December 8th, 2015, Cassie was in South Africa. And there were also text messages between Christina Quorum and an assistant, I believe was Eli, where she said, they are gone, like you can go clean up the hotel now. And Tenny was just like, so do you know who was with Mr. Combs at the hotel? Did you try to find out? Did you try to do any other research here to find out who quote unquote they is? Or because Cassie's not in the country. And she just said, no, I just looked at the evidence I was given. I didn't do any other digging. And Tenny was like, oh, and you've been a special agent for 10 years? And she's like, yeah. So there was a lot of back and forth about that. And then Tenny played video clips from some of the same videos that they saw yesterday, which were freak off videos. Like I said, there was some reactions, but she played different clips. And one of the clips was about 5 minutes long. And during this clip, I actually saw one of the younger female jurors take some notes. Nobody looked disturbed or upset today. We could kind of hear part of the video until one of the somebody in court, one of the wow, I'm blanking out. One of the federal guys that are in charge, they're just like, yeah, we can hear it. And then all of a sudden they turned it down, or everybody adjusted their headphones and we couldn't hear anything anymore. So yeah, there was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was about seven-ish clips played, but yeah, it did not elicit the same type of reactions at all. Oh, and then after all the videos were played, I did see one female juror make a face like this, like she's kind of thinking. So Tenny will finish her cross later, and then we will get to Brendan Paul. So I will give you an update later on today.
I ain't gonna lie, bruh. It sound like, and it look like Diddy is cooked, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people were saying, like, you know what, kind of the early stages of the case, they was like, all right, I've been following the trial and what's been coming out of the trial. This isn't a domestic violence trial. This isn't a so-and-so trial. And it sounds like all the parties were consenting. See, the thing about it is, with something like this, especially today, it's all about soliciting other people for various explicit acts and things of that sort, which is illegal. And then he traveled the folks over different state lines to do it. That's even more illegal. Like, that's crazy. And they have all this footage and stuff like that. And then you say with the Cassie, okay, consenting. Cassie was consenting to all of these acts. But I think bringing up the domestic situations, alleged domestic situations, shows that it was a hostile environment for Cassie, and she couldn't really, you know what I mean? Because it was just a hostile environment. I was like, dang, if I say no, is he gonna beat me again? Like, all that stuff. So I don't know. I think all of it is starting to kind of come together, and all the charges that he's facing. And me personally, I think he's cooked. But it's just day 25. I also thought like some other people have been cooked in their trials and they end up beating the cases. So
U.S. versus Sean Combs. We are on day 25, not 26. The afternoon update. Tenny Garagos continued her cross of the special agent Penland, and that cross took the remainder of the afternoon along with the redirect. So we will hear from Brendan Paul, the last witness, I believe, for the government. There might be one possible summary witness, but I believe Brendan Paul tomorrow. And the government said they most likely will not rest until Friday morning now. They thought they were going to rest tomorrow, most likely Friday morning, but we'll see. So the cross-examination, like this video will be fairly quick because, after lunch, we really only have an hour and a half of court left. Oh, and by the way, I want to point out that number, $46,000, was an actual charge in damages. I think it was for furniture or something. So I was right. That's crazy. Someone actually told me, another reporter said, oh, that came up before. I must have missed it because that was the first time that I had heard that. Okay, so essentially what Tenny did for the rest of the afternoon was she pulled up different text messages mainly between Cassie and Diddy during certain points in time that we had discussed previously on the chart during direct, to add more context, add more text messages than just maybe Cassie saying, hey, you really hurt me this time, etc., etc. We'd see a text message that said, ooh, I can't wait to be with you, or I love you so much type of thing. A lot of explicit text messages from Cassie. I'm not gonna, I won't go there. I did write some of them down, but I won't go there. Let me see just some of the, I guess, I don't want to say like the highlights, but I think what the defense wanted to put out there was, like, for example, March 5th, the day of the beating, we saw a text from Cassie saying, I really want to do an FO, but I don't want to F myself up type of thing, saying that, she really wants to do it, but she was kind of worried because of her premiere, or that's what I took as her saying, I don't want to F myself up. And also there was a text between Cassie and Diddy talking about, what should we do this weekend? This is October of 2012. And Cassie's like, let's do something fun. And Diddy's like, great. I got us tickets to Book of Mormon. Yay. And then they would say, miss you, this and that, loving text. But this was also the same time that there was the FO with the Punisher that we saw, or we heard video of. There was also a point where a juror was smiling, and this was seeing text messages between Diddy and Cassie, where Cassie sent a picture of herself looking cute in the mirror, and Diddy was like, she's back, with a bunch of exclamations. And then after this text message, or this exchange, Diddy says, what should we do tonight? I kind of want to FO, but he also said, I don't want to F myself up. I need some guidance. And Cassie said, well, I've been feeling myself lately and I'm horny. So, and then she said, but you do kind of stay in bed a lot. So again, we saw more text messages of Cassie seemingly wanting to do these things, consenting. And at one point, Diddy actually says, do I have permission to set up a room, like a hotel room? And she says, yes. We also saw a text from Cassie where she said that she wished like she wasn't so high, because it sounded like they weren't using protection, or the escort didn't use protection, and the defense wanted to really highlight Diddy saying, I'm so sorry, it's okay, we should be more careful next time. And Cassie said something about getting tested. And then Tenny would kind of say things like, so during this time period, you only showed these text messages. You didn't show any of these text messages. And the other text message exchange that she would show would just be more favorable to Diddy, where he would seemingly be understanding and asking Cassie permission for things, etc. She also asked her if, you know, they did any further research about whether or not the LAPD was mentioned during this time frame in the charts, except for the one text message with a screenshot from Carrie Morgan. And the special agent said no, it wasn't. What else? Yeah, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't anything crazy. It was pretty tedious, pretty slow, but there were some explicit messages. And then the redirect really ended, I thought, on these notes to be, or these texts to be sort of left in the jury's head, which was they re-showed us a message where Cassie said, you know, I'm someone's child. I'm not a rag doll. You can't get all high and do this to me. You're trying to show your power. And the last text message they read was Cassie saying, you treat me like you're Ike Turner. So I was like, ooh. Yeah, and that was pretty much it. And then after court, the judge said they needed to have a private meeting, so they kicked everybody out, and most of the press left. I mean, there was like a 90% chance that maybe we'd be a 10% chance that we'd be called in there, but probably a 90% chance that we weren't going to know until tomorrow. So so tomorrow we will start with Brendan Paul and then see if there's any other juror issues. So thanks for listening. That was day 25.
All right, day 25, you heard it here first. What was it? $46,000 in damages that he paid one time at a hotel. Yeah, $46,000. That was kind of like the main thing. Another thing was like just kind of the receipts just keep proving that they're like paying and flying out people to do certain things, and I think that's what like the entire case is about, like the biggest RICO charges. So we'll see. Me personally, I think Puff is cooked. But you know, the defense, hold on, is this? But the defense keeps pointing out all these, you know, kind of text messages from Cassie showing that Cassie was with it, and so she ain't no victim. But we'll see which way the jury goes. But yeah, I'll continue following the trial, everything like that. Shout out to Lauren Collin as always for the content, for the recaps, daily recaps. She's been on it the whole time for the past 5 weeks. You know, day 25, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. She's been on it. So salute to her for all her hard work and things of that sort. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Everybody watching, Flip, shout out to Flip for being in the chat tonight, everything like that. I appreciate it. And everybody else, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, have a good night. Have a good day whenever you're watching this. I appreciate you all so much. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 5K subs. I will see you all again tomorrow because I am live each and every single day. Peace. Holla at ya. Shout out to Eric the Young God.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.